We got ourselves beast right here, Chains of Silence 2, my friends. We're going to break it all down for you in today's episode and guide. We got some key tips and tricks as the #1 free-to-play player here. A little bit different to help you beat this without that silent salt as well. So let's get into it here today. Thank you for tuning in on hard mode, my friends. So as we get into it here, we got the Spectral Warmaster. A couple big things is really two big kind of key pieces of the battle. First, really taking the darkness type damage. The second one really focused on the light type damage, my friends, and makes a big difference for you. You also have steel type attacks there as well. So don't forget that in terms of that first team. So pretty interesting. We do have a little bit of a mix up in terms of what we have in order to get by this here today that is different than previously. Now, a couple things here. We do have our special conditions, mint cookie levels 80, skill levels 80, grades 3-star there, and treasure is 12. We have the Guardian's Protection there. The staff summoned by White Lily Cookie deals damage to soldiers in an area and increases all cookies attack, defense, and attack speed for a certain period of time. So make sure you're taking advantage of those pieces as well. Now, the team ideas here that we have for hard mode, again, getting that silent salt across the board. We got lots and lots of AoE type multiple hits there. We've definitely mixed that up. And then additionally here down below, our light type team with Crumble being the big key winner. Hitting apply will put all these things in there for you in order to go forward with these teams. All right. So let's go ahead. We're going to edit. We got something a little bit different here. You're probably wondering, why do we have Burning Spice and Eternal Sugar Cookie? Well, we'll come to that in a second here. We are still taking advantage of the other three there in terms of what this team looks like. So the main difference here is the gear. Now, if you've been watching some of my episodes already, we incorporate a lot of tricks into boosting certain cookies like these two. They don't generally do steel or darkness type, and this one needs to be that oriented type team for that first wave. They do both put out a ton of damage though. So when we go to gear, here is exactly what we're doing. Look at this. We flipped over to darkness type damage, my friends, and once again we're going to do that right here as well. Look at that. Going to help us get all the way through very fast and break this thing down. Then we have everything else here. This could be moved over to darkness type damage instead. You could absolutely make that one better. Here we got that darkness type damage and attack, and then here that cooldown. In terms of our second team, similar thing here in terms of our gear. We're on attack and attack speed. You could put light type damage in there to also really get some other damage in, mainly being focused here though with the attack speed. Lots of light, crit there, and then cooldown there. All right, so this team is absolutely able to get by here on hard mode for Chains of Silence 2 Spectral Warmaster, my friends. Let's go ahead. I'll show you exactly how this is going to look and run as well. Now, if you happen to have a question, if you got a comment throughout, let me know. Watch these things just absolutely shred. Again, that's the big difference there when it comes to Silent Salt as well, is being able to get all that damage out there. Now, again, look at this. Just absolutely doing all kinds of madness right there. Generally, getting this stuff up right before you get the big hits is going to be a big boost in terms of those additional pieces. All right, let's wait for it. Let's wait for it right at there. All right, and let's go, my friends. Getting close, getting close. We got to get down to that 75-ish. We got a minute left here. Here comes the tomb. There we go, there we go. Oh, it is close. 44 seconds. Here we go. Right there. Look at that. Nice. Now we're going to switch over here to our creme brulee and let this stuff unload, my friends. Now, the big one here is we'll have to get the bar set up properly. I like to kind of time it a little bit before, because when you click, we'll show it just like this. So right when it enters in that purple there, start to think about getting that click going just like that. And right there. 55 million to go. Lots and lots of damage, as you can see. So close, my friends. So close. Here it comes. Another perfect. And boom. In the space. And let's go again. Boom. That should get us there. Oh, it is close. Maybe not. Yes, we are good for the win, my friends. Taking down hard mode with 2 minutes to spare. Not bad. Absolutely. All right, my friends, there we go. You can see the damage done just like that. You can get a little bit more of a breakdown and see how those ones worked out across the team, where they were hitting those kinds of things as well for that focused versus unfocused, and lots of focus damage there with Crumble. So there you have it in terms of Chains of Silence hard mode here today, knocking this one down for us in Chains of Silence 2 against the Spectral Warmaster. If you still got questions, if you got comments, let me know. I'd love to hear from you as always. And thank you for tuning in here today. I truly appreciate your support. With that, get out there, shut this thing down. And until next time, my friends, keep on running.